have to. So, first off, I'm Blake Hartman. I am a junior at Marquette. I study business, so I have no business doing radio whatsoever. I have no talent. I can talk a lot and give opinions that are usually wrong, so you'll get more than enough of those from me. Kevin?
And my name is Kevin. I'm an accounting major, so I hate my life. So I think it's important for us to really let the audience get immersed into our show, what the purpose of it is, what motivated us to do it. And Blake, I want to ask you, like, what was your thought when you came to the idea of making a radio show?
I don't know. Like, there's nothing more I like than having 0 people listen to me. So I thought, what would be the best way to channel that energy besides talking to myself far too often? It was creating a radio show on Marquette. So Kevin and I came up with this idea to make a radio show. It started freshman year when we had no friends and no life, playing video games at like 2 in the morning on weekends when everyone else was partying and having a social life. We made a fake radio show. So we were like, why not make that fake radio show real and still have 0 friends? So here we are.
Yeah, but I want to take that a step further because I think that it's important to thank the one viewer or one listener that's listening to us right now. Wherever you are out there, thank you, because you're making this show possible.
And if you are at Marquette, I don't know why you're up on purpose this morning. No one really wants to be. We all had commitments. Our guest didn't have to be here. He could have been in bed recovering, but instead he chose to be with us, which is questionable. But what we'll roll with it.
That's
so.
A great segue because I would like to introduce our first guest today. First show ever, first guest of all time. I'd like to introduce the funniest guy I think on Marquette campus. Would you agree, Blake?
I mean, because Chris Farley's dead, yeah, he's the funniest now.
I'll have to say, due to process of elimination, Danny Lang, everybody.
Thank you. Here I am. My voice sounds horrific, so I apologize.
Yeah, so Danny, tell the listener that's out there a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I am an advertising major and a digital media minor. I am currently sick. That's why I sound like this. I am a member of the Studio 13 Refugees, Marquette's best and only improv group. And I also do stand-up here and there as well.
What motivated you to do it?
To do what, improv or stand-up?
I guess comedy in general would be a more appropriate term. Just more broad, I guess.
I think I always knew that I wanted to perform. It was just a matter of finding what fitted me, and comedy was it.
When did you find out, like, you were funny?
Well, I made my high school improv group my freshman year, and so I guess that was this first stepping stone of like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. Did you feel like people actually liked what you did? Because when I first went on and did stand-up comedy my first time, I thought like, okay, if I bomb, cool, I learned. I did my best. But when did you find out like, okay, this could actually make something of myself?
I don't know if I ever thought that out loud. It was more just like a thought of, no, I am going to do this, and I don't really care what other people think. Like, this is what I'm doing. But I think people liked me from the get-go.
Okay, good. I'm good to hear that because, like, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and also, too, on that point, whenever there's a stand-up comedy show, Kevin's done it the past 2 years, like, whenever there's shows, how does it feel to be the most popular person? Like, you're the reason people come to see it. Like, all the other comedians are whatever. They're there to laugh at you.
That guy was all right.
Yeah.
Didn't come for him.
It wasn't about Pete Lee. It was about Danny Lang. How does it feel to be famous?
Well, I think the only reason that I'm famous is because I told, like, all of my friends, like, everybody I ever met, like, oh, come to this show. Mm-hmm. And then they do. And then they're like, they're here to support me and other people. So did that answer the question?
I mean,
having a good answer.
You have a crowd, man. You have a fan base, and I think that's what we all need. I need a fan base. I think that's what I need next time I go up there. Just invite, even if I don't know anybody or if I barely know somebody, I'll text them up and be like, "Yo, come to the show. Support your friend that you barely know. Yeah. Support your one colleague you had in marketing 101."
And you know, I mean. Bribery is always good. I mean, if you have to give them a few bucks, you have to do whatever you have to do to get them there. I mean, it happens. That's
bribery among other things.
Yeah, of course. So we have a lot of segments that we have come up that are going to come up over the semester. We haven't decided how we're going to do it because we were going to get here 15 minutes early, plan our show out, and then, of course, Marquette was like, you can't come into our buildings because you're a Marquette student. So we're just going to roll with some of our segments we've made up. So our first one, I think, applies to all of us in our life. We've all had ups. We've all had downs, much more downs than ups. So we like to call it, instead of My Tinder Romance, I play on My Chemical Romance, the band. I don't think anyone would have gotten the joke, so I have to tell the joke because no one will get it.
Yes.
So
Okay.
My Tinder Romance. So really this is about like one of those awful Tinder interactions. We've all had it. We've all just been there where it's like, did I put myself into the situation? That classic Jim Halpert gif of him looking at the camera just shaking his head. We've all been there.
Yep, I agree.
So I think Kevin, start us off. What's your worst Tinder interaction you've had as of late?
I think that just me being on Tinder is just like a representation of how I am in real life.
Yeah.
I'm not really good with social interaction, I'd
Mhm.
say. I think that when I first got Tinder about a month and a half ago, I just thought like, okay, this is just like texting people. So
Yeah.
when I got my first match a month after I got it, I wanted to really come off like I don't know, for lack of a better term, a douchebag, I guess.
If you have to.
Because I wanted to make sure I came off as cool as possible, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew a fake me. So I really, busted my chops a little bit up there. So I thought I matched with this girl named Erica.
Yep.
Erica. And I messaged her. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite household appliance?
Oh God.
Yeah, so I this is my first match ever. So you'd imagine like, okay, test drive here. So I said, what is your favorite household appliance? Day later, I get a response. She says, an oven. I'm like, oh, why is that? And she says, because ovens make food. I'm like, okay, what can go wrong with that? And I'm waiting for her to say, what about you? So that I can say my planned response.
Oh no.
Another day. Trust me, another day goes by. I get another response. She says, how about you? And I say, a washing machine. And she says, okay, tell me why. And I said, because it's my only way to get a girl's panties wet. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh.
I have to leave now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
Okay,
my
so you
thing.
didn't even make it past the messaging phase, so that's okay.
But I mean, I'm glad to say that she unmatched me because I was ashamed of myself, and I'm pretty sure she was pretty ashamed of me for that cowardly and really unsuccessful attempt at a pickup line.
Okay. I'll go next because I think we should probably let our guest be able to think about what he wants to say. So, my worst one would have to be I went back home over break for a couple weeks. I matched with this girl I actually went to high school with. Ironically, that should be a bad omen to go with. I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. If any of you live in Wisconsin, Oshkosh could arguably be the worst place to live, not only in Wisconsin, but in America. So I went back home. I matched with her. We talked for a little bit, and she told me to come over. And the entire conversation before this was we both knew why I was going to come over.
You guys were both on the same page.
So I thought. So I knew she lived with a bunch of other friends from high school. So when I get to her house, like 6, 7 of her friends that she lives with, who I went to high school with, also live with her. They're like, hey Blake, it's like I didn't think they were all going to be there. She said that we were going to have the house to ourselves. That did not turn out to be true. So I played it off. It's like, I'll just talk to her friends for a little bit. We'll go to her room. We'll do what needs to be done, and then
So sex.
Yeah. We'll
can be blunt.
Yeah,
This is
we'll
Marquette
do.
Radio.
We'll
Are
do
you
what
kidding
needs
me?
to be done. So yeah, so we get there. We talk a little bit. We get into our room. We start going at it. Her friends knock on the door and ask us to quiet down. So that was like another bad sign that it was going poorly. Because all of my friends that I went to high school with that I was hoping to never see again could hear every little thing we were doing. But that wasn't the worst part of the whole thing. Kevin, you've never heard this story because I think it's embarrassing, and I try to avoid it when I can. So yeah, another 10, 15 minutes pass. There was a second person that lives in her bedroom with her. She was out. She came back and she walked in on us in the middle of just like going at it. We were doing some things that, parents wouldn't be proud of. Grandparents would probably die hearing. So yeah, having a high school friend walking on you, having sex with another high school friend while all of her friends are outside, and then all walk in to see you doing it.
You should have just invited him to videotape it. It would have got. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we're all above the age of 18.
Yeah, so
20.
at that point, I made the commitment to never, ever, 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 ever talk to a high school friend again on Tinder because it can only lead to bad things. We never talked again after that.
I would hope so.
I unfollowed all of her friends on Instagram. It was just a whole thing. To this day, when I'm gonna potentially meet up with a girl, it's like that thought runs through my head of, oh, another person is going to watch me do this.
Yep.
So that's scarring. It hurts. Girls scare me, but that's a different story. So
it's a story for another radio show.
Another radio show.
Yeah.
Danny, let's hear your
Danny,
war stories.
you've gotten to know us so well now.
Yeah, wow. I feel like I'm so connected now. Well, I guess right out the gate, I don't use Tinder nearly as much as you straight people.
So you use the opposite, the Grinder.
Grinder,
yes.
Which is equally rough, if not worse.
I heard they're a lot more forward on Grinder.
Yeah.
I've only seen movies.
Yeah, they jump to conclusions real fast. And so, needless to say, I was meeting with this one guy every so often. It was fine. It was normal and fun. And we became Facebook friends shortly after.
Damn, that's official.
Yeah, we're classy people. We like to take the high road.
Yeah.
But then I noticed that he had a boyfriend on Facebook. And I was like, okay, that's weird.
That's a boundary I don't like to cross.
And then he asked if we wanted to meet again. And I was like, do you have a boyfriend? And he was like, it's complicated. And I was like, it's kind of not. It's kind of a yes or no answer. And I was like, all right, I'm going to cut this off here. And he was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm positive. And then he said, he has said this a lot, which I feel like should have been the red flag from the beginning. Like, he said, I miss you a lot. And I was like, we don't know each other that well.
Question, how many times have you seen him? How many times how many times have you seen him prior?
Probably like 4 or 5.
Okay, then that... Ugh.
So not the threshold to say, I miss you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. We weren't having deep, fun conversations or anything.
Really thoughtful,
Yeah, we were not that as I wasn't as connected with him as he thought he was with me.
And so I'm gonna assume here that you unfriended him, right, on Facebook?
No.
You guys are still friends? Do you ever see what he posts? Do you like what he posts?
I don't really like what he posts. I feel like I don't see it a whole lot.
All right, that's good.
Which, luckily for Facebook, it learns who you like and who you don't like
really fast.
Yeah. So my cousin, who posts about 1,000 times a day, luckily I see all his 1,000 posts. So any other friend who I want to see, I cannot see. So thank you, Facebook, for that.
And go ahead, Danny. Were you gonna say
something? No, I didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, okay. So moral of the story is people suck. But luckily, there's a lot of people out there, so we'll just find the people who suck more eventually. So
I think that's we're gonna go to our first song. Do you have everything queued up on Spotify?
I mean, I could if you want me. I can queue things up. Yes, I do.
Whatever you have now, we'll just go to our first commercial. Not a commercial, more like just me and Blake like classical music. That's another thing about this show.
Classic rock. It's not classical.
Classical music. Sorry, I'm inquired. You gotta give me a bone here. Throw me a bone.
No.
So we like classic rock here, and so most of our songs that we're going to be playing today are primarily going to be from that generation. So,
but also the required things that Marquette Radio makes us do. So a combination of things.
Yes. So Do you have your first song queued
Yes,
up?
I
Blake?
do.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to that first. So again, I just want to say thank you all for thank that one listener for tuning in this morning, and
We'll be right back.
we'll be right back.
Don't mind the thoughtlessness of the passing of time. The clouds roll down, they shadow and hide the thin paper blinds. I don't mind the thoughtlessness of
back. Hello, everybody. Sorry, that was not classic rock. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, so we had to resort to whatever Marquette Radio provided us.
Thank you, Marquette Radio. You're
Saving
so
our
kind.
life. Saving our life. A little bit of dead time there, but I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody, for whoever's listening right now.
So kind of on the comedian theme, both Kevin and Danny are very much into comedy. Kevin and I actually saw John Mulaney at the end Friday night. Really hilarious show. We saw him in Milwaukee. Kevin met Charles and Ellen Mulaney, if you know who John Mulaney is, his famed parents. Didn't meet him Friday night, but still a really good show. On our way down, though, to Chicago, Kevin brought up this great point to us in the car.
I was ignorant at the time.
Kevin was back and forth. Kevin's always been back and forth. Is Kevin ever going to find true love? So Kevin made this point that he thinks he can buy legitimate love. If he pays a woman enough money, that woman will love her, will love him with real love, not because he is paying her money. Kevin doesn't think that's what Kevin. So we told him that, Kevin, that's what a sugar daddy is. Kevin doesn't think that that's what it is. So Kevin's an idiot. This is something we're going to learn a lot this semester.
Yep. But the decisions I make, I think back upon, and I learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I learn. So when I bring up something that may or may not be accepted, by society, I try to think about it from an objective standpoint here. Money buys everything, does it not?
I guess the way you think, yes, but
You can buy anything, but there's a finite amount of money in the world, so
yeah. So I guess the next segment I want to kind of get into is just like what our opinions are on very big issues in our society. So first being love. Like, do you think you can buy happiness, buy love? What do you guys think?
Buying love, buying happiness. I'll throw it over to Danny first because I honestly I have a pretty big spiel that I think will take up the next hour. No, but go ahead, Danny. Do you think that love can be bought in any way?
I don't know, but something that one of my old bosses said to me was, money can't buy happiness, but neither can poverty. So do with that what you will, but I think money probably doesn't have a whole lot to do with it, but it probably plays a small part.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I think that money can let you do happy activities with the person you love, like it's a derivative of it. I think maybe there's a woman out there who will love you because you are rich and will legitimately love you because you are rich, but I don't know. I think you create love out of like this mutual happiness. You find someone who loves you for you, which is tough out there, but you find that person, you roll with it, and the money is just like a nice added bonus. Let's hear your very firm opinion, Kevin.
Okay, it's not very firm, but I feel like you can put a value on anything. I'm an accountant, all right? You literally can put a value on anything. So I had an ex-girlfriend. I know, it's hard to believe I've had a girlfriend in my life. It's okay. So I had an ex-girlfriend at a time, and I was, I guess you can say like there was a distance thing that was a problem. I went to school. She was a senior in high school. First problem. And I wanted to try and fix it myself because like she was enjoying her senior year, hanging out with her friends and stuff. And I wanted to, be a proper person, boyfriend, and try and see her as much as I could, even while I'm at school, balancing 19 credits and a relationship. So that's also something that was going through my head. But I tried to plan a date for us to go down to Chicago and go down on this cruise, and I spent too much money. I'm going to just say too much.
Too much money.
Too much. And I thought, okay, I spent over I can just be blunt. I spent like over 150, 175 bucks on that night.
Ooh, high roller.
High roller, yeah. And I was at that time I was like, okay, I'm trying to salvage a relationship. It's not because I wanted to do it. Trying to salvage this, trying to make it worth it. And we went on the date. It was awful. And now I'm like, instead of remembering, now that I think about it right now, I'm not remembering the moment. I'm just remembering on how I spent $175 on one of the worst nights of my life. So that's why I feel like you can put a value on anything and love doesn't exist.
Well, I'm sorry for you.
No, love does exist. I was being quite hyperbolic, but when you think about it that way, you don't think about the memory you shared with that person. You don't think about that mutual, being together there.
Yeah.
You think about all the bad things like, okay, I just spent $175. Oh, it was too cold. Oh, this, and she wasn't paying attention to me. So I think about that stuff. So that in that case, the memory that I shared, I just think about you can just put a value on it. Okay? That's my whole point. That's my thing revolving about this whole problem I have with this whole theory of quote unquote love.
So you
Thoughts?
think, yeah, love's for you. So love is memories is money.
I guess. I mean, that's a very loosely, but I mean, out of context, that doesn't sound good. But within context, I mean, it makes a little bit of sense, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
What are your thoughts, Danny?
What was the question? I got sidetracked by my own thoughts.
Did you at least hear the story?
Yes, I did
Thank
hear
God.
that part.
Okay. Well,
I won't
I
have you retell it.
no, it's
Because
okay.
it's sad.
It's quite sad. No, it's okay. But I wanted to hear your thoughts on, putting a value on memories you share with another person, and when you're in a relationship, when you're in love with somebody, and it goes south, you just think about oh, I just spent all this money. It was too cold. You look at all the bad stuff. Would you agree with that in any sense? Even you're in a relationship, you love that person, but even if it goes a little bit south, you just think about all the shitty things that happen. You spend way too much money. You did this, you did that. It was too cold.
I wouldn't say so. When I look back on friendships that have not necessarily gone south, but maybe just petered out, or even have gone south, I just think of good times with them for the most part. When I look back and think, oh, shoot, I guess it just didn't work out between us.
Yeah. And that's why I think, even when you're in a relationship with somebody, you got to sacrifice. I understand that to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be sacrificing that much effort, I'm going to call it, when I know at that time I knew it wasn't going to work. But I still tried to salvage it because I'm a decent person, I think.
Yeah, and I'm much more of an oh well than a what if person. So if I have an opportunity, I'm just gonna take it. And sometimes money's a thing, but also if a great memory happens, great. I have a memory. The money wasn't a thing. Even if it's a bad memory, it's I learned from that. Whatever. I mean, I've been with plenty of girls like my ex that you'll hear more than once about her and how awful she was to me. But yeah, I spent a lot of money on her. But for me, it wasn't about the money. It was more about how I learned growing up as a person from that relationship. But teach their own.
Yes,
So,
and I like that point. I learned a lot from that relationship. I learned a lot, and I learned not to spend gobs amount of money on somebody when you know it's not going to work.
hey, we all learn our own things in our own ways.
I
whether
took a
it's
huge step in the wrong direction.
a nice fiscally responsible step in the right direction.
Yes, as a business major, I am very proud of myself.
Thank you. So any woman that's ever gonna date you ever is gonna just be disappointed on how cheap you are. So congratulations on that. Another segment that I've always wanted to do.
Before we hit that
Yes.
real quick, I think we should do our first sweeper slash plug.
We should.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we get these firm set of sweepers from Marquette ready to play, but we think that not all the sweepers really represent
They don't
Who
fit
Marquette-
well with our,
with our show and also who needs promotion and recognition on campus. So we're gonna go with the Marquette janitorial staff for our first sweeper this morning. They're the ones that when you stumble into the residence hall at 2 a.m, throw up in the shower, in the sink, and in the hallway, they're the ones that clean it up. They get paid
By
$2
contract.
an hour by contract. They don't choose to; they have to.
So we just ask, thank you, Marquette custodial staff, for everything that you do for us. Because when we're idiots, you're there to clean up the mess.
And also because we don't have to, because you're paid to do it. So thank you for being paid to do what we don't want to do.
Thank you, Marquette.
Cool. So moving on to my probably new favorite segment that we're gonna have is called Firm Opinions. I want to hear everyone's most firm opinions they have on anything ever. What is one thing you're so sure of that it's not an opinion, it is fact? Kevin, what is your firmest opinion?
Okay. When I go to Chick-fil-A, I have a very, I feel like it's quite robotic and insincere when I say thank you to somebody behind a counter who works for Chick-fil-A, they're by way of like they have to say my pleasure. And it's so like systematic. I feel like it's not genuine when they say it. So I feel like, if you're going to say it, think of something else besides my pleasure. I think my pleasure is like after I've heard it about 1,000 times when I'm there, I don't want to hear it anymore. It feels so like I don't feel like the wholesomeness of when they say it. I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? Have you been to Chick-fil-A, Danny?
I don't go to Chick-fil-A because they don't like gay people.
That's true.
So
That is so
True.
true.
do not support their business.
Yeah, I've heard that. I took a theology class freshman year called God and Work, and they talked about
That
Chick-fil-A.
sounds horrible.
The teacher was very, he was full of wisdom. Great guy. Shout out to Dr. Dabney. Great guy. He's on sabbatical right now. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Like,
I learned about Chick-fil-A, and they're very, very,
Very Catholic.
very.
Which is kind of ironic. A good middle finger to them as they put a Chick-fil-A in Atlanta's new football stadium, which won't even be open when they can make money. So if there's one stupid organization, it's Chick-fil-A. Also, like a considerably large gay community that probably enjoys chicken. So if you're gonna be awful to them, you're losing out on business.
You're losing out on a huge target market here. Is that your firm opinion, Danny? Chick-fil-A?
It's not really an opinion. It's more just like a
fact,
fact that
yeah.
they don't support our rights.
I totally understand that. Here on WXBJ The Blow, I just want to say that we condone and we support all LGBTQ plus communities out there. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Cool beans. Am I
What's your firmest opinion?
firmest opinion? Oh my God.
But do you guys agree? Hold on. Do you guys agree with my whole thing about Chick-fil-A?
That it's disingenuous if they are just forced to say my pleasure.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
so it doesn't seem very
and,
genuine.
and the fact that like it's like a white Christian organization and a majority of their employees are not white Christians. That's a whole nother thing we could bash on Chick-fil-A for, but
It's okay.
that'd be too long and tiring. So
Yes.
why get long and tired?
Okay. So go ahead, Danny.
I'm still thinking of a firm opinion. I can't
Okay.
think
All right,
of
so
one.
we're gonna
mine's
switch over to
easy.
Blake.
Mine's been stewing for weeks. That Rose is the worst character in The Last Jedi. I don't know if you guys have seen the news.
Who's Rose?
Have you seen the new Star Wars?
I have not.
movie?
That's probably why I don't know who
Okay.
Rose is.
Well then.
Well, once you see,
have to see it,
You're
Danny.
gonna
You
find
have
out
to.
who she is.
She's very expendable.
Yeah. So they added this new character. Her name's Rose something or another. I don't even know her
I'll
full name.
Google her.
Yeah, they added this new character to the Star Wars universe. And she's like this little companion to Finn. They go around. They go to this social justice like representation of a planet called Cantobite. She gives him a lecture on what like income inequality is for all of us, because we wanted to watch Star Wars talk about income inequality. But the entire time, she was just this annoying little character who did not help develop the plot at all.
She fell in love with Finn.
She fell in love with Finn, who Finn is supposed to fall in love with Rey, but that does not happen. She's also just this character who doesn't add anything as far as story goes. They added it. I think they added her just to have a character. But what really did her in for me was at the end of the movie. The point of these movies is you have to kill off characters eventually. It's what happened. They killed off Han Solo, one, because they had too many characters, and also two, it makes for the story.
They have to balance the force, my dude.
Yeah, so they add this character, and so she's along being awful, saying all the wrong things all the time, and then Finn is going to sacrifice himself to the cause to save his friends. Would have been a beautiful exit for a good character. He sacrifices himself. He finally finds his purpose and like for the rebellion, and then she crashes into him to save his life, but also, in effect, potentially kill all of their friends, because nothing says let's save the rebellion by letting this huge laser cannon blow up their base. So, and then, like, she said this line that it was like, don't like fight what you hate, but save the ones you love. But that line is so disingenuous because he is saving the one he loves by fighting the ones they hate. What's the point of fighting the First Order if you don't fight the ones you hate? But anyways, so she survived that, unfortunately, so she'll be a character that has to stick around another episode.
Is she?
Oh, she survived. She'll be there again.
She'll be there.
No, I hate her. She is a bad character. Might be a great actress, great person, but she's a bad character. She ruined the movie. But That's another movie.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly, minus all the other plot holes, other things like that also ruined the movie. She ruined the movie. So, firmest opinion, she is the worst movie character ever.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
So what did you look up on Google, and what has enlightened you so?
Oh, I just image searched her. She's got bangs. That's
Yes.
what I know about her. She looked like she was wearing a yellow jumpsuit type deal. That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all you-
that's
that's all
how
you
much
need to
you
know.
need to know about that character.
Awesome.
All right, so I think it's important. All right, I think we should go to our next song. Blake, do you have that queued up?
We didn't hear Danny's
Oh,
firm
shoot.
opinion.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry.
kind of
Danny, did
host
you
are
think of
you?
One? I'm a terrible host.
I still have yet to think of one.
So now we leave the audience on a cliffhanger. Coming back, or
It's
coming
like
next,
American Idol.
coming next, we'll have Danny's firm opinion, and then we'll move into the Super Bowl. I think that's
Okay.
a good segment to start off with, because
Yes.
none of us are nor credible to talk about sports. So I think you have our next song queued up, Blake.
I actually do this time. It'll work,
Okay.
I promise.
This one will work, and if we don't, we'll just go back to the main. We'll see. All right. See you guys in a bit.
I'm not bitter about it. I packed up my things and let them have at it, and the fortune faded as fortunes often do, and so did that mansion house where my ma is now. I don't know. She was living in her car, I was living on the road, and I hear she's putting that stuff up her nose and still wearing that rabbit fur coat. But mostly I'm a hypocrite. I sing songs about the deficit, but when I sell out and leave Omaha, what will I get? A mansion house and a rabbit fur coat. Worst possible day, I need you to go away. Red sheets cover the bed, lightning bolts in my head. FTP don't fuck with me, FTP don't fuck with me, FTP don't fuck with me. Not supposed to complain, don't mention it by name. Have to cancel my life, 8 years into the night. FTP don't fuck with me, FTP don't fuck with me, FTP don't fuck with me. So tired, so spent, functioning at 10%. Whatever you need, have to ask me next week. FTP don't fuck with me, FTP don't fuck with me, FTP don't fuck with me.
I fold the piece of paper and I put it in my pocket, 'cause I'm about to board the world's first rocket, and I need to remember where I came from, and I leave it for as long as I can, until it falls and breaks and it crumbles like sand. And we all go down. Ooh la la, ooh la la la. gun. It was nice knowing you, my good friend, but I might never, ever, ever see you again. Love you, son. We all gonna ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la. Ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la. Ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la. Ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la. Well, they whittle me down to the ground, and maybe one day, well, I'll be found. Yeah. Well, we'll sing it loud and we yell it proud, and maybe one day we'll all be found singing ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la. Ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la.
Welcome back, everyone. So over the break, we had a really good conversation about like those people you see around campus like one time, or like not one time, but like you see him all the time, like that person that shares the same walk schedule as you, and like how you feel you're a stalker. That was me and Danny freshman year. He doesn't remember it, so it means I was stalking him really well. But I would see him.
You did a really good job, though.
I
Since
would
he
s-
didn't even notice.
Yeah, I would see him about 5 times a day, 5 days a week. Like it
Wow.
was insane. We would eat at the same places at the same time. We would walk like to the same buildings, cross our paths. It was obnoxious. And like I met him one time at that little like rodeo hoedown. Like we had a crappy artist in front of
Rodeo
Lalu.
hoedown.
I don't even know what it was.
Nor do
Square
I.
dance.
Yeah, so I love those people, and that's the perk and drawback going to Marquette. You meet one person, whether it's good or bad, once. You will see them all the time, forever and ever. So, Danny Lang, you have had time to figure out your firm opinion. What is your firm opinion?
I can't stand getting emails. I find them to be either the most stressful or annoying thing on earth. I work at the rec center and the recplex on campus, and whenever someone wants their shift taken, they have to send out an email. And so I'm just getting thousands of emails a week from
People who don't want to work.
yeah, and they won't change the title of their email, or they won't say when or where the shift is. And I'm like, I can't help you, nor do I want to anymore.
Yes.
So good
So,
luck.
Are you one of those people that has like the inbox of like 1,000 mails, like you like see those screenshots, or are you the one that like has to like clean it out?
No, I don't clean out my email because I just didn't for the longest time, and now it's too late.
I have a question.
Yes.
Danny Lang, how many? You can ballpark it. How many emails are in your inbox as we speak?
I have absolutely no idea.
Ballpark it.
I'm bad with guessing numbers, but oh Christ, like 3,000.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't deleted any since freshman year just because I didn't want to take the time and effort.
Do you actually read the Wellness Wednesday post that the Marquette Wellness Center sends
The
out every
what?
Wednesday? Do you actually read those?
Oh, probably not.
I don't
probably
read them.
Swipe those away.
And whenever Marquette, what is the youth group? The youth Christian group that we have on campus. What is that called?
Spark? Is that?
I don't know
something?
what you subscribe to, Kevin.
No. We don't. As a student, we get those about the new Lenten retreat that they have going on.
I don't.
Oh, I don't think I get those
Ignite.
emails.
I've never got
either.
those emails either, Kevin.
I get those
Ignite
emails.
might be it.
I get Ignite emails. I mean,
Sure,
I'm just saying,
Ignite,
I'm
Spark.
sorry, but I don't read those. I'm sorry, Marquette.
I get Lutheran ones because I guess freshman year I signed up to be a Lutheran because I was a Lutheran in high school, so apparently I have to be a Lutheran in college, so I get those.
Yeah.
I currently have 28, which is kind of high for me. I'm one of those.
28? I disagree. No. When you go on the email on your computer, like on your desktop.
It'll be 27.
Really?
But see, what sucks for me is I have 2 email accounts. I have one for my personal and I have one for student government because I have an e-board position on that. And I absolutely dread getting emails on my student government one because it's like I don't want to answer you. I just don't. I don't like. Don't email me. Like you can figure things out yourself. Like. So if you have to get an email, like what's the email you dread most? Like you see that title line and you're like, oh my god, I want to die.
That's a tough question. I did get like called out at work one day for doing something, but I was in the right, I believe. I forgot what it was titled, but something along the lines of failing building supervisor duties because I'm a building supervisor. And I was like, oh, I want to die.
As we all.
Because
Don't
I've
we
been
all?
skewered in public. Here I
Don't we
am,
all?
naked and afraid, being yelled at by someone whose job it is to monitor kids. Aren't I great?
That's so true. Did you say your email already? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
What?
You should pay attention.
I should pay attention. I'm the worst.
You failed
that
being
was
a
it.
building supervisor.
Yeah, I was called
yeah.
out at
That's
work.
true. Oh yeah. Actually, I remember that. Did you say that in your stand-up? Like 2 weeks ago?
Possibly.
I think so. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I was
Regardless,
very,
I thought
I
it was
was
really
very
funny.
mad, nor was I in the wrong.
Yes, I think when you talked about how you work at the rec, which is very very funny, on how you hate sports and then you tied it back
yeah.
into working at the rec. I thought that was super funny. And when you said that you worked at the rec, yeah, I put that all together right now. So I'm coming in. I'm in full context now. I'm sorry that I was not paying attention.
No, it's
I hope you
fine.
guys forgive me.
Oh no, I mean it's just for next time. There's these things called headphones that we're wearing right now. What happens is everything we say comes into them, so you're literally forced to hear what we say.
Yes.
So just remember that your ears are working.
My mind has a specific function that it can block out things. So sometimes it does that, and I can't control it.
That's
I
terrible.
can't control it.
That's terrible. So Super Bowl is on tonight.
Wait, we need another sweeper, but I don't know how to work it, so we're just gonna say it. Marquette Battle of the Bands. Something's going on with that.
Bands will battle each other. We don't know if it's physical with instruments.
I'm not kidding when I say I think it's like I swear to God, before we even signed up for this, I thought Battle of the Bands. They said it. Never heard about it in my life. I honestly think they take drumsticks and guitars and they just battle to the death.
Do you know what Battle of the Bands is, Danny?
Yes, I do. I know sororities do it. I don't know if fraternities do, but I think they make almost like a playlist of songs, and then they create like choreography and lip sync to it on stage. It's like this big thing that all the sororities do, I believe. That's pretty much the gist of what I know. It seems just like a fun thing to be a part of.
So there's no music played by people. It is a bunch of girls dancing to music.
Yes, I think.
Well, we're going to run with that. Thank you, Danny, for the correct
Thank you, Danny,
sweeper.
for helping us out, because Battle of the Bands, it's at some time, it is at some place.
And there will be people there, probably.
There will be people there, and there will be bands battling of some sort.
Whether it be music or a Spotify queue, there will be music there.
Yes.
At times. Super Bowl's today.
Super Bowl is today.
It's on tonight at some time.
I know the teams that play.
What are the teams?
New England Patriots, and then what's the city?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia Eagles. There it is. Yeah, so Philadelphia Eagles will be playing against the New England Patriots. They will be playing football.
Danny, can you please explain to us what football is?
Yes, it's when a lot of grown adults wear shoulder pads and tackle each other real hard to the ground over and over and over again.
And they're struggling to find ball.
Yeah.
Ball, yes.
The point is to get the
The
ball in a rectangle of grass.
How many? I know
Yes.
this. I took a physics class when I was a junior
and
senior. I took AP Physics as a senior. Yes. And I learned that a football field is in fact 120 yards.
Yes, because the end zones are 10 yards apiece.
Yes. So they are 120 yards. The point of football is to have a team rush a ball as far as they can into something called a quote-unquote end zone.
Yep.
Where a player will hike a ball.
Yes.
And throw it across the field. And if another person on the same team catches it, That is good.
I think that's how it happens. I also heard that football is also how many concussions you can get,
Yes.
and how much the NFL will overlook those concussions that you get.
Yes, that is also something.
I think concussions are good. Nothing says wholesome family fun like watching grown men try to murder each other on the field for sport and get paid to do it. You know,
A lot of money?
a lot of money. People get paid a lot of money to hurt each other, which is you would think that they would make that illegal, but I guess it is celebrated to hurt each other.
Yes.
So what are your predictions between the two teams?
I think a team will win.
A team will win.
I'm gonna guess the Patriots will win. I have no facts to base that off of, but they seem like they will.
What are your thoughts on do you know who Tom Brady is?
He plays. I know that.
Yep, and he does play. Like I said, he plays football.
He plays
but I
football.
mean, besides playing football, listen to this. So, Tom Brady is 40 years old. He is still playing football.
Okay.
All right, and his diet is so strict, very strict. Like he has a personal chef coming in every day making his meals 24/7.
Wow.
Very strict diet, very strict exercise schedule, and he is predicted to play football for another 5 years. 45 years of age is going to still be playing football.
Which
Is
I
that
guess
insane?
which I guess is old for people doing sports.
Yes. And I find that to be amazing because unlike Tom Brady, I have the worst diet, I think, of any Marquette student.
When Kevin got back from Christmas break, just for context, the only groceries he brought back were 2 gallons of milk and about 30 of those rolls of the cinnamon buns. You can cook like 8 at a time in the pan. He brought like 30 back. So
And just to make sure, milk does in fact have an expiration date, and I finished both gallons before that.
Kevin
Oh
finished.
my God.
Kevin
Yeah.
finished. We didn't think it could be done because
I finished your gallon of
They were
skim milk.
very aggressive. They were very aggressive expiration dates. Kevin put 2 gallons of milk down in like 2 weeks, which is insane for a single person.
Yeah, and he had a gallon of milk too. Skim milk, which is a lie, which is just water pretending to be milk. But he has a gallon of skim milk that expired February 2nd. I think I looked at it like 4 days in advance. So this is like January 29th at this point. I looked at it and I'm like, Blake, I'm going to have some of your milk. And he was like, go for it. And before within those course of 4 days, Blake didn't acknowledge his milk.
Nope.
And so I took it down.
Kevin drank my milk.
I drank a gallon of milk. Single-handed.
As do most human
Oh
beings
my
do.
God.
Do you drink milk, Danny?
No, I have like a thing of almond milk in my fridge, and I
Oh,
buy.
you're one of those people. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it expires in like April.
Does it expire within like 3 weeks?
No,
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I just never feel the need to drink milk.
I see. Football. Yeah, so Tom Brady has a very strict diet that I will never, ever come close to ever getting. or
Yeah, but I mean,
achieving.
I don't think we're trying to play football until we're 50. I'm trying to enjoy life while I can because death is inevitable. So
And football only promotes that.
yeah, so if I'm gonna enjoy this one life I have, I'm gonna eat the foods I want to eat. I'm gonna do the people I want to do. I'm gonna do the things I want to see and stuff. So Tom Brady can live his strict life. I'm gonna live my loose and fast life.
Yes, very loose. Because I heard, Blake, that you have a bloodline of very, very terminal diseases.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get Alzheimer's so hard.
It's going to tackle you to the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna forget a lot of things really quickly. Like the guys today on the football game, I will get CTE by like age 40, and I will die quickly after.
Yep.
So, Danny's parents are coming down today because his parents love him and want to see him. And,
My parents have never given me a care package before. Just want to make that abundantly clear to everybody here.
My mom works on campus, and we live like 20 minutes away, so they have not either, but that's because they can just drive in and give me it.
That's amazing.
My parents bought care packages for my room, not for me, because they don't think I'm good enough to get my own. They have to like give it to my friends as well and say like your friends are better than you. So
Yep. Danny, before you go, I just want to tell you, like you know, I did turn 21.
Congrats.
Yes, I did. I did in fact turn 21, and Blake took me to go with his parents to a bar in his hometown, Oshkosh.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they spent like $500 on me.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah,
my
so
family loves
I
to
think-
drink, and when there's a reason to drink,
They
We
drink.
drink.
And I mean, I just want to they did that for me. Like that was my thing. They spent $500 on me, not Blake.
They sound nice.
Yes.
My parents are good enough. They love Kevin for some reason.
They
which is
love,
frustrating.
but I'm trying to hone in this point that they did it for me and not you.
I'm well aware of what my parents think about me.
Yes. So, Danny, I just want to thank you for coming.
You're
Being
welcome.
our first guest on the show. Would you call it a success?
I would call it a success. Fuji's are good. Marquette stand-up is good.
Yeah. Please plug those.
things while you're here. Plug them
Plug
now.
everything you own.
There is a stand-up show, I believe, happening on March 2nd. That's a
happening?
Friday, I think. I want to say it's in the AMU ballrooms, but I'm not 100% sure. I also don't know the time. Just keep your eyes and ears peeled for that.
Like most things on this show, it is happening at some time. It is happening at some place, but it is in fact a Marquette-sponsored stand-up show.
But the Fugees, I know for sure, have a show on February 16th in Market Hall, room 100 at 8 o'clock. February
Awesome.
16th, 8 o'clock, Market Hall.
Are you doing anything independently? Any stand-up shows independently?
Probably. I'm probably going to Rounding Third on Thursday night. It's a bar. They have open mics at 8 on Thursdays.
Cool. I mean, hopefully I'll be there. I mean, I have choir that goes till 8, which is why I haven't gone yet.
Gotcha.
But I'll be there. I promise. I won't be like... Last semester I didn't come to anything because I was trying to balance my life. But I'm taking 12 credits now, and I think I can go. I
Nice.
can make some time for our introductory stand-up group. Danny, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And so we're back. Thank you, Danny. We want to thank again Danny for coming out this morning. Sorry, and yeah, it was great to have him. First gay comedian I ever met, and he opened my eyes to the best thing ever.
Kevin is not walking Danny out because don't treat your guests right.
Yes,
Is the
but
moral of Kevin's story.
best and only gay comedian I know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know like 0 comedians. So because Kevin's not funny.
Yes,
So.
and I think do you have a song queued up like this time? Maybe it'll work. Probably not.
How about you talk about things for 30 seconds?
All right. Well, my life is like an open book. That's something that we're going to learn real quick on this show. We're going to learn that I am a person that loves to... I just have a really unique life, I guess. But I think it's time for us to go to another break. But when we get back, we'll have some more surprises ahead of you. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening, everybody. This is awesome.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Blow with Blake and Kevin. So we're going to wrap up the show today just with some more talk, some more witty banter, you know, the usual.
And again, thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for that one person that's coming out today to listen to us. You are the reason we do this show.
Yeah. The first show is always the most awkward, not planned, anything like that. If anyone says their first is the best, they are lying. You should hit them with a blunt object because they're wrong. And when people are wrong, they should be punished for being wrong.
Yes. And, I mean, we only had, two technical one, technical difficulty that happened 2 times.
Yeah, which isn't too bad. You know, I don't know how to play music off things. You'd think that a college kid would know how to play music off a laptop, but alas, I'm stupid.
We should have stuck. We originally, before we even went up here, we were like, okay, we have an iPhone 8 and an iPhone 10 that do not have headphone jacks. In order to play music for Marquette Radio, you have to have an auxiliary cable connector. So our initial plan was to just bring our little auxiliary adapter that connects to our phones that don't have headphone jacks, you know? And so I did that. I brought it, but I instead was like, you know what, Blake? You have your computer out already. Let's just see if that works.
Yeah, and I think too, as well, it's a learning process. Next week we're gonna get a much more polished show. Yeah.
Next week we have another guest coming on next show. We already have it planned out. He's a good friend of mine from my hometown, which is something you don't see every day. You know, we usually have students from Marquette campus come on and do the show, but this time we're going to bring on somebody else he goes to Trinity Christian College down south in Illinois. He's going to come up. He's visiting his girlfriend, not me, his friend. I am in fact his friend, but he is coming up to see his girlfriend. But it's okay because I still love him all the same. But we will be with Joe Vaccaro. He's here. He's going to come and talk to us about his life and stuff, and we're going to banter him and drill him with questions. Yeah,
so. and I think so. I think especially we've learned kind of how to talk to our guests, what we're looking for. It will be more interview, will be more flowing, casual conversation. Lucky for us, we also have some friends that do another radio show on Wednesdays, Coast to Coast Sports,
which is tentative for now. I think last time I talked to them, it's tentative.
Yeah, but they're good guys. So we'll for sure do a sports thing for all things sports and sports things.
Because we are the most credible for that.
We are. So to wrap up our show, a lot of things happen in the political world, the social world. Things happen all the time.
That is very true.
Things happen a lot. Kevin and I have opinions on things. We have facts on things. We like to talk.
But we're not in any way credible or obligated to say anything here. We are what is the word I'm looking for people who shouldn't be talking about stuff and they think they know everything?
Douches.
Yes. That is exactly it.
Perfect.
So what is in the news, Blake? What have you heard?
What is in the news? I mean, it's more of what is not in the news lately. What I like to do most mornings when I wake up, if you guys have Twitter's a great app, making a good resurgence. I'm really happy about. There's this, if you go on the search part, there's a bunch of today's moments things. I always look at those first. It's really exciting. To look at those, and one of the stories this morning I'm looking at right now, it says Hunter knocked unconscious by a dead goose falling from the sky. If that is karma, if that isn't karma, I don't know what is.
Wait, are you saying that you don't condone hunting? You live in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
What I think to be the most hick communities in all of the world.
oh God, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. There's a lot of just awful people in Oshkosh, and I've hunted in the past, but nothing says irony like shooting a bird dead that you shot dead, and that bird falling from the sky,
Knocking
you unconscious.
Is that
you know?
is that what the story says? Knocking him unconscious?
Yeah, the bird literally fell from the sky and hit him. Which,
Have I ever been hunting? No. Am I afraid to hold a weapon? I don't want to answer that question.
Yeah, no, Kevin. We actually have an Instagram page newly created. So I took Kevin hunting,
Yeah.
or not hunting, shooting over the summer.
First time I've ever held a weapon.
Yep. So I will make sure to post that picture of Kevin and the first time him ever shooting a gun. Might as well promote our new Instagram right away. The Blow Radio. The THE Blow
Really emphasize that part.
Blow BLOW
Blow.
Radio RADIO. The Blow Radio. It is all one because you're not allowed to have spaces or capitals in your like username. So that's what
we'll
you'll
probably we'll probably end up making a Twitter too someday. Just to like say, hey, make sure to check our show.
Yeah, and for that one listener out there right now, if we become famous, we'll find you and we'll reward you because you probably had some indirect or direct role in that.
That's speaking of which, we should have given Danny something for being on our show, for having him go through that, having him to go
wake
through
up.
this. This is the day after National Marquette Day. I think 100% of the people that go to school here are hungover.
100%. Not 99, not 98.
I didn't.
Even my roommate who doesn't drink probably is hungover today.
Yes. So I think we should have given him something as a reward for waking up early, being on the show today, and just putting up with all of our nonsensical, just straight up dumbassery.
Yes, I forgot how to talk right there for a second. That's
No,
gonna
we
happen.
should have. No, don't you agree? We should have given him. I mean,
Oh,
although I guess we are stereotypical college students, we don't have like money, but
but
I
we
think,
have
like,
goods. We have goods.
We have goods. Like I should have given him like I have a T-shirt from O-Fest when I was a freshman. It's a size small, and I think it has a tear on the bottom of the shirt, like really on the bottom seam. I think that would have been a great gift for him, or something else like maybe a used pen.
That'd be good.
Just something for him to,
Remember.
something for him to remember just being on this show today. So if you guys ever want to be on a guest on our show, just know that there are incentives for actually being on here. So you'll get like I don't know, like I said, a used pen. Maybe you'll get a free T-shirt I got at the Women's March, which was really fun, that I didn't go to. I don't know. It's up to you. But I guess you'll have to be on the show to find out what you're going to get.
Yep. So before we end our show today, I want to thank the audience. We're also going to give you guys some knowledge. If you didn't learn anything before you got on the show, and you might have learned something that's good. But if you took literally 0 things out of the show, I can at least give you a tip or fact that will make you feel like you learned something. So I just looked up on BuzzFeed useless tips. So to the ladies out there who want to please their man, or the man who wants to please their man, or any other pronouns who wants to please their other pronouns, this tip is use the back of a brush, like a brush for your hair, to swat at his thighs when he steps out of the shower. Wet skin is more sensitive. So if you want to turn your man on by assaulting him with a brush, Women's Magazine, according to BuzzFeed, wants you to hit him with a brush in his thighs.
Yes, because, I mean, from my previous experience with female women, nothing gets me going more than getting whipped in the thigh when I just got out of the shower with the back of a brush.
Nothing says surprise and horror like being beat to crap by the woman that cares for you.
Yes. Thank you all for listening today. My name is Kevin LaPuma.
My name is Blake Hartman.
His name is Blake. My name is Kevin. This has been WXBJ The Blow with Kevin and Blake. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week. And wait, did we say our guest next week?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I already did that. Good. All right, so Joe will be on next week. Same time, same place. Thank you all for listening.
Stay safe, stay sober, don't get pulled over.